Përshëndetje and welcome to Inside Albania with me, Alice Taylor. Today I'm joined in the studio by Elisa Dudaj. Elisa is an Albanian fashion designer and she has displayed her work at London Fashion Week and New York Fashion Week. And we are here today to talk about what these experiences were like, her influences, what it's like being a fashion designer in Albania. Elisa, welcome to Inside Albania.
Thank you for inviting me. It's my pleasure.
It's a pleasure, as always. Right, so I want to start at the beginning. We have had you on the show before, but I think we want to give a full picture of your story and how you've ended up being this amazing fashion designer who's displayed her work around the world. It's extremely impressive. So, where are you from originally? How did you discover this creativity in your soul?
So I'm originally from Tirana. My mom first discovered my talents when I was very young. I was very passionate about fashion and making dresses and things like that. So she kind of pushed me towards that direction. And after a while, I decided from watching Project Runway and different fashion documentaries that I wanted to pursue that route. And then when time came, I decided I wanted to go to Parsons in New York, and I graduated from there. So, yeah.
Okay, let's go back. When you say you had this passion for fashion and making dresses, I mean, how did that start? How young were you? Were you how did you start to learn to make dresses? It's not something normal for a child, you know?
So, as every kid here in Albania, when my grandma was watching soap operas or
telenovela.
News, yeah, exactly. She had to keep me occupied because I have also a younger brother. And if we didn't have things to do, we didn't have iPhones, iPads, stuff like that.
Thank God.
Yeah. So she had to find other ways to occupy our time. And what she would do is she would make him draw or do something like that. And then she would make me knit. Because if we would be together, we would start fighting over pencils or random things. So that's the way.
She had you knitting socks.
Yeah, literally knitting socks for my dolls. And she would be like, you need to hurry up. Winter is coming, your dolls don't have any clothes. So I was like, oh no, I have to work on this. So that's how it started. And then also my mom, she would draw different shapes of the dresses I had for my dolls. And then she would teach me how to do embroidery by hand. So for me, it was very relaxing and very interesting to do. So I found it so interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was from both the maternal line of your family. I didn't know your mum knows how to embroider. She taught you how to sew flat. What sort of things was she teaching you?
She knew how to crochet.
This is hard.
It's very difficult.
Yeah.
I tried to learn a couple of times and it was impossible for me. So I know to do the basic stuff, but not the complicated stuff. And then she knew how to embroider. She knew how to sew. Not very well, but a little bit.
Sorry.
My grandma knew how to sew and do make clothes and stuff. She was self-taught. So that was very interesting to me. So I learned from her as well. She would make me hem the edges of bed sheet or stuff that, easy things. And for me, it was very, very interesting and cool. So, yeah.
I learned at school. My mum taught me how to knit, same like you. She needed to keep me occupied because I was quite a hyper kid, an adult. So she taught me to knit. Crocheting, I couldn't do it. And embroidery, I learned as well. And we learned at school and we made dresses. I had to make a dress for my end of year project and I designed this prom dress. It was the early 2000s. You can imagine what sort of style I went for. And part of it, I'd done this flower design down the side of it, which I was sewing with beads, tiny beads. And I had a 2-hour lesson, and I spent the whole 2 hours sewing these beads into this lily shape, you know. Got to the end of the lesson, the bell rang. I stood up and I'd sewn it to my skirt, my school skirt, 2 hours, you know. And I had to and I think that's the moment that my love for making clothes died. You know?
You're like, this is not for me.
I was just all that effort, and I was like, I don't want to redo it now. You know, I'm so disappointed, and
patience was gone.
Yeah, completely. But I do still like to. People are quite surprised when I can mend a button or hem a pair of jeans. You know, I'm trying to teach Dea, but she doesn't really have the patience for it. What about exposure to other forms of traditional Albanian textile sort of making, like the weaving? Did you have any exposure to that when you were growing up?
So after all of the people I was surrounded with like my cousins and things like that, they found out that I was into fashion and art. So everyone would buy me gifts, basically. Or whenever it was New Year's or my birthday, they wouldn't buy me random things. They would everyone would focus on buying me art stuff for some reason. So I remember I got this gift once from one of my cousins, and he gave me a little weaving thing for kids. And my grandma, because of course she wanted me to be occupied all the time, she was like, oh, let me make this ready for you, because it's a bit difficult to start it in the beginning. And afterwards, when she fixed it for me, I found it very, very cool. So weaving the fabric and things like that. And also in school, I took classes for textile manipulation and things like that. So also from that, you kind of learn the basics of weaving, wet felting, different ways you can manipulate textiles so you can create something on your own, your own fabrics and your own textiles.
Because what I really like about Albania, one of the many things, is the in terms of textiles, there are so many different varieties and techniques, and you look at just the costumes from each area. I was in Shqiptare recently, and their costumes are so intricate and using dyed silk and lots of beading and things completely different to Tirana, for example, you know? So many different techniques that are used in this, and we don't have the same thing in the UK. We don't even really have traditional costumes. We don't have. Wales has them, Scotland has them.
Yeah.
That's it. We don't have, let alone regional differences in beading or embroidery, for example.
Yeah.
So it's really fascinating here. You have such a rich library of inspiration to draw from. So how did you went to Parsons, which is the best school for fashion in the world. How did that happen? How did you get the idea to apply? How was the application process? I can imagine you were maybe a bit anxious about it. How did it happen?
So I transferred my senior year of high school to America because I needed the grades. It was very difficult at the time to translate in a way the grades from Albania with the American system. So everyone was telling me oh, you have at least to finish your senior year of high school in US so you can have the proper grades to apply to different schools. So that's what I did. I transferred my senior year in the middle of nowhere. It was horrible for me that first
Where
year.
Did you go?
In Connecticut.
What was it like turning up there? Hey, everyone's been together for years through school.
I was the new kid, and there weren't a lot of international students. I was maybe we were 4 or 5 max. So with that, there was also my brother. So you can imagine. So 2 out of the 5 were
related.
Yes. So it was very difficult also to make friends, but at least I found some Albanian people,
good.
Girls, and then other nationalities who they would relate to me somehow. And afterwards, you have the good thing about America, in my opinion, it's you have a school counselor. And that doesn't exist in Albania.
No.
And I didn't know that existed. So that person helps you and guides you with the university applications and things like that. So from not having any idea what I had to do, or like even my mom was trying to help, but coming from here, you have no clue how the school system works.
Yeah. You need someone on the inside.
Yeah, you have zero clue. Like I had no idea what I was doing. And thank God she really helped me. Like she would sit down with me, help me like write you have to write an essay, and then you have your grades, and then you need the portfolio to explain, like to show your art side, and then you have to explain all of the pieces in your portfolio with like essays and like short writings. And I didn't like writing at all. And I thought like going to like an art school, I wouldn't need to write. The opposite. You need to explain every single thing you do.
Yes.
Like there needs to be like some context.
Reasoning and history, concept.
Like there's no like things do not happen for like randomly. You need the reason.
Which is kind of counterintuitive as an artist, because often you create things with no reason because it comes from here. It's not going through your brain necessarily.
Exactly.
So to have to then step back and like come up with a logical sort of explanation for it is difficult.
Exactly. And also when I went to school at Parsons, they had this thing, like they wanted to take out the art part. They were like, listen, you're not an artist anymore, you're a designer. And as a designer, you need to figure out like how to solve problems. So when you are a designer, you're seen as a problem.
It's a technical.
Yeah, like problem solver. So since I started there, like they engraved this like ideology into me. Like, so whenever I would think about different things, I would be like, oh, like how can I solve them?
Yes.
Like this problem. And I wouldn't see it as a problem or like a difficult thing. I would just look for a solution, because in my point of view, like everything has a solution.
Yes. And how was Parsons? I mean, I think films like The Devil Wears Prada and, but there is this sort of idea that the fashion industry and fashion school and working in fashion companies is really like bitchy and people are mean and it's sort of a popularity contest and it's not a friendly sector to work in, Is that a correct thing to say? Is it like that? How is it?
So for me, it was something in the middle. So your professors, some are like extremely, extremely nice, extremely cool, extremely like understanding and stuff. And then you have like some other professors that are like the
mean girls.
Yeah, they're like the opposite. They have like, I had this one professor, I loved him afterwards, but in the beginning, he kind of made my life a living hell, because like coming from Albania, you have no clue what design is. Like also during the time that I studied like high school or like I was here for school, like I had no clue what art was, what design was, what any of that stuff is. And I didn't have an understanding about those kind of subjects.
Yes.
So I've had teachers like, or professors like tell me like, oh, why did you come to school today? You shouldn't have come. And I was like, excuse you, like I paid to be here, like first of all. And then like, it doesn't make any sense.
Like I'm here because I earned my place to be here,
but like it was their way of like pushing you to try more. And like in the beginning of the year, it was horrible for me because they would like push me so much. And then I was like, what am I doing here? Like I'm doing the wrong thing. Like I thought I knew what I was doing, but like apparently I don't. So afterwards, that professor like totally switched. Yeah, he was like, I love your work. He kept my work. Now he shows it to other students because I was determined. I'm like, I like to be the first one in everything. So I was determined. So I was like, I was trying to understand the critique he was giving me. And because you need to understand it to like change. Because if you think like, oh, he's saying this and that, and you don't understand it, you don't know what to fix. So yeah, I'm grateful.
Did you ever face any like negativity because you were Albanian, like from other students, or was there ever any like, oh, Albania, like sort of?
No, they find it very interesting for some reason. Also, like, I didn't have a very like strong accent, but like after a while, like I developed an even like stronger accent for some reason, because people would compliment my accent and it would make you different from the rest of the people. I feel like the only thing they would judge you or like be mean or like not really mean, but like be weird about it was like being very commercial. Like if you liked certain like trendy things, they would be like very mean. Like you had some sort of disease, and they were like, oh, what's wrong with
That's the same in everything with art, though, isn't it? If you're sort of, people want to be normal, different and they see themselves
like,
as,
oh, you're too normal, what's wrong with you? What? I'm trying to fit in.
But then, so you finished in Parsons and you came back to Albania.
Yes. So for my thesis collection, I met with Fadil Berisha. So he took pictures of my entire collection. And for that collection, I was inspired by my grandmother and like the way she taught me how to make different clothes. So he looked at my stuff and he was like, oh, this is like very cool. And he was part of a jury here in Albania, a competition. And he was like, you should participate in that. And that's how I went to Musa competition. And I won the first place there. So
what year was this? This was 2 or 3 years ago?
Almost 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah,
It's passed so fast.
Yeah. So he was, I mean, was it always in your plan to come back to Albania, or did you want to stay in America?
I kind of wanted to stay, but the problem is like the fashion industry in New York, it's like very saturated. So it's like
and nepotistic. It's the same in London as well. It's who you know, a lot to do with that. It can be hard and very competitive as well. You have to work for free for years before you know. So in the UK, for example, it's known for for excluding people from the middle class or working class, because you have to work for free for a few years as an intern to get your foot in the door, you know, which means living in London, anyone, unless you've got your family's millions behind you, it's difficult. It's very hard to do that.
So it was probably the best option for me, because there I know as a fact that all of my international friends, they went back home. So none of them like had like found a way to stay, also like visa reasons, etc. Right now I'm like between the two, but I don't think like I would have figured out like my place there if I would have just...
You would have maybe ended up, you know, at the bottom in some big company and having to, you know, I have friends in the UK working in fashion, and they're, you know, they start off designing socks for Debenhams or something, and they're like, oh, I'm designing pants now. You know, there's no freedom. You have to design, you know,
whatever you're told.
You don't have that creative freedom. You know, maybe after 25 years you'll get to design a dress. You know, it's that sort of. It's very difficult to make it as your own. So your first collection for Musa was influenced heavily by Albanian tradition and what you'd learned. So how did you incorporate sort of Albanian needlework and things into the clothing?
So I did a lot of wet felting, embroidery, and the doilies. So the doilies for me, because I was surrounded by them all the time, I was like, this is so like Albanian. And it was like, I didn't know, like I wanted to do something with them. And I had this vision because like I imagined things like how I want them to look. And then I figure out a way, how will I achieve that? So I had this idea about the doilies being frozen and like very structural because they're very like soft and
they
like
drape.
Very delicate. So I was like, I want them like hard and like structural. So that's what I did. That was very successful. Now from that, I have evolved into like different like areas of like the traditional inspiration.
So you, after Muse, you came back to Albania, but then you had a show at New York Fashion Week, didn't you? So what did you show there, and what was the reaction to that?
So very similar things as I did in Musa, a bit more evolved, a bit more like minimalistic, but the reaction was like people were gravitating again, mostly towards the wet felting, the doilies, the doily bag that I made that was very successful. And
all the things with Albanian influence.
Yes, so that's what I've noticed. Like now people are gravitating a lot towards like more ethnic style, like clothing.
Unusual.
Yeah.
It's something they've not maybe seen before. It's not something you're finding in the high streets, you know. So it's natural that they would. But that's interesting that they, you know, they particularly like the things which were really, really Albanian, you know. And these people that appreciated it and that purchased and things, they're not just Albanians.
No, the majority is like Americans, Italians, Australians. Yeah. So it's like a mix.
And when you opened your show in New York Fashion Week, like, how did you feel the minute before it started?
I was like, I've been extremely sick, like extremely sick. One of the few times I felt like I had to like lay in bed and do nothing, but I had to like do my
the show must go on.
Yeah. There was no way of me to like get out of it at that point. So I was extremely anxious, extra. Like if I would have been like healthy, I would have felt fine. But because I was also sick, I was like under like so many like medicine and things like that. So I was like feeling dead. And like the moment the first model walked out, I was like, okay, like this is it. Stop stressing. Stop stressing. This is like done. So just relax, take a deep breath. Like you've done like everything you could. So it went amazing. So I was like,
and reviews afterwards.
What
did people say? Like what were they saying?
Very good. So they were very happy with my work. A lot of like the organizers there, the viewers, the people who participated, they really enjoyed the show, and it was something different from the other shows that they had seen. So that was a big plus for me because I don't want to look like everyone else.
No, of course.
Like my goal is to be a bit different.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And then London Fashion Week, which is arguably bigger than New York Fashion Week. Like it's iconic. It's I mean, I'm maybe biased being British. How did that happen?
So basically I had to apply, and I applied so many times.
Really?
So many times. And the first time I got in very easily, but I wasn't ready to go. So I just didn't respond, didn't write back. So I was like, oh, this is fine. I'll do it next year since I got in the first time. I thought
they were probably like the next time. She didn't reply last time.
That's what I was thinking. I applied the second time and I had no response. I was like, oh.
This is British people for you, you know? Yeah, you have to tell them.
Yeah, I was like, what happened? Like, I thought I got in the first time.
Yeah.
This is not normal. And then I reapplied. I was like, I really want to be part of this. Like, hit me up. I'm waiting. And then still no reply. I wrote back again and again. Like I was very desperate at that point.
Please.
I was like, respond. I need an answer.
I'm gonna just keep email bombing them until they.
And one day I got a DM, and I was like, oh, like who's DMing me right now? And I never see like my DMs, my notification, because it's like a mix of everything. I saw that DM and I was like, oh, let me just like check it out, because I saw the username was like very familiar. So
Not some creepy guy. Or
no. I was like, oh, this is safe. I will open it. And then I see like the company that I was like harassing kind of at that point. I see them like DM me and they were like, oh, like we've been emailing you for like a month and you haven't responded back. So apparently,
but I've been stalking you for a month.
I was like, what happened? And then apparently all of their emails were going to like my junk.
Oh,
So
no.
I saw nothing and I looked absolutely like crazy. Like literally.
So you were messaging them. They were replying, but
Yes.
you were thinking they weren't replying. So you
Yes.
were sending more obsessive emails to them, and they
Yes.
must have been like, "What's wrong with this guy?"
Exactly. I was so ashamed when I first like met them like face to face. I was like, like please pretend like you haven't seen
I'm a
my
professional.
emails. Yeah. I was depressed for like a month and a half because I thought I had no answers. They were like, no, we really liked your clothes. Like, we remember your first application. And I was like, okay, I thought you forgot about me.
But it works out.
Yeah, it works out.
So tell me about the show.
So this show was personal only for me. So I had my dedicated time slot. Like the people were there only for me because in New York, I was like one of the many, kind of like we were only 10 designers. So like I was one of the 10.
Yeah.
And for this time, I was one of one.
Yeah.
So it was my time, my show, my models. Like I did the model casting.
Wow.
I did their makeup, like try-ons and things like that, hair, everything, styling. So it was like a trial and error type of thing.
Did you have that fear? Like I do it when I have an event or something. I'm like, no one's going to turn up, and I'm going to be stood there like with my book, like, hi.
Yeah, that's
Did you get that?
Yeah, I was the only thing I was worried about for some reason for this show. Like I had zero like emotions. I don't know how to explain it. Like I felt very normal. I was like, I'm meant to be here. Like for some reason, I felt very like chill. Like very relaxed. I knew what I was doing, kind of, because like I forgot the shoes and like the shoes came like 30 minutes before the show. So
Did you have any big names at the show, either models or in the audience, people that came to watch you, stylists, media?
Stylists, mostly stylists, big names, like they're like names where they work with different magazines and stuff like that. But like that's pretty much it. Like maybe some influencers and stuff like that. But like it was a very nice turnout. So it was like packed.
Yeah.
That was like my worry. The only thing I was worrying about, I didn't care about the model's shoes. I was like, whatever. They will
go barefoot.
Yeah, I was like, whatever, it's fine. But like I was worried like it would be empty for some reason.
Yeah.
And it was like packed.
Scariest thing. And this collection, what was it again Albanian influenced?
Yes. So my brand, like I feel now I have like the path I want to be on. It's like tradition, but through my point of view. I've been saying this, but now I'm very sure about this. So now I really believe it. So it was, again, mostly embroidery, a little bit of wet felting and more ready to wear. So stuff that it's like easily accessible kind of. And like, it's more easy to like attain and like make and like, it's more sellable in my opinion, more commercial. So I got the normal disease.
No, but this is a key, because I think so many elements of Albanian tradition and culture, particularly when it comes to textiles and things like this, are at risk of being lost and becoming extinct.
Yeah.
There is a woman in Leisure who does the weaving.
Oh, yeah.
I can never say the word in Albanian. What's the name for the
Tezja.
Tezja, yeah, it's not an easy word. And she told me, she said, for years I've been teaching younger women how to do it. She said, but none of them are continuing because they've had families or they've moved abroad or to Tirana. And she said, out of all the students I've had, not a single one is doing it. And she said, when I die, that's it. She said, in Albania, there's only a few women around who still know how to do this.
Yeah, that's
firsthand. She said maybe 15 years, it will be gone forever. Only the fabric will remain.
Yeah.
And I think the key, I love the old, style, but it doesn't necessarily translate well to modern trends and things. So I think the key to preserving these is doing exactly what you're doing, which is it's not commercializing, it's finding a way to contextualize something which is traditional, something which is historical, something which has cultural value, and finding a way to make it relevant today, because that's the only way that we'll be able to preserve it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, not everyone wants bright red hand-woven tablecloths.
Exactly. I agree.
I do, but not everybody does, and the next generation might not. But yeah, to preserve it, you have to find a way to take those elements, keep them alive, but to make them accessible for what people want today.
Yeah.
And that's the best way to do it.
And I've seen now a lot of interest, and I do a lot of more simple silhouettes, just inspired by little cuts from the traditional costumes, and then I have the more with full embroidery and full motifs and stuff. And I see that for foreigners, that's very successful. They love that stuff.
That's great.
So I'm trying to push that more, even though it's more time consuming. For some pieces, it takes up to 5 days to make. For one worker to sit down and work on that the entire time.
Yeah.
So I kind of get why they don't want to pursue that career in making that kind of art, because it's very, very time consuming. And also for the worker, it's it hurts their neck, it hurts their back, it hurts their hands. So it's also their eyes.
Yes.
So I kind of, because I work with them and I stay with them the entire time, I know how hard it is to make certain things. So I kind of understand that and get it, kind of. People would want to make money in easier ways and not
shorter, quicker.
Yeah.
I've seen in Kuxi, I went to this place where they weave carpets, and not just the chilims, but the Turkish style, the huge ones that take months. And they sit on these little wooden beams on the floor, and they're this. And I'm like, how long does it take to make? And they're like, 2 months. And I'm you must, I don't know how you can sit there.
And they have a lot of them making at the same time.
Yeah, but the toll it takes on your body, your hands, your wrists, your eyes, everything. It's intense work. I can see, people want an easier option. But how is it for you now running a fashion brand from Albania? What are the challenges you're finding?
No, I'm so grateful. I'm extremely grateful for the people I'm surrounded with at work. So I'm they're my friends. We are, all of them, we're a big family. I mean, we're 5 people, so it's fine.
That's not a big family by Albanian standards.
Yes, exactly. So it's fun. I love them, and I feel we have a very good connection. They understand my imagination and what I want to do, because it's very difficult to communicate.
Yeah.
That's what I've figured out, or what I've learned during the time I've been here. I try to work with different artisans and different people from different areas in Albania, but I've found out that it's so difficult for me to communicate my ideas and to explain to them listen, let's try to do this, and then they do the opposite, or they try to teach me how that doesn't work, or how my idea is crazy, point blank. They're oh, you're crazy, or are you okay? And I'm yeah, I guess I'm fine.
Why is this, do you think? Is it they're set in their ways? Is it your ideas are crazy? Is it's a break from the traditional way that they're used to? What's causing that block, do you think?
I mean, I'm kind of crazy. That's like part of the equation as well. But also, I feel like it's the way we are taught. So that's what I understood. Also, going for high school in America, like I understood that. And also in fashion, you learn about like sociology and like how people work. And I've read this parts of a book. It's called the pedagogy. I don't know how to.
Pedagogy.
Yes, of the oppressed. So I feel like the way we are taught in schools in Albania, it's like we're very oppressed. So you're not allowed to ask questions. You are just like
Copy.
Yes. So it's like the banking system. That's how the writer explains it. So he says you go there, you are treated as a bank. The teacher is like the person who like deposits the money into the bank. And like you literally stay there and you just take all of this information without like asking any questions. So by doing that, you are like, since you finish school, you are oppressed in a way because you are not taught how to ask questions or like how to like critically think about a certain like idea that is presented to you. So
You have to accept it how
yes,
it is,
that's
and
it.
there's no
Because
discussion.
the teacher is like the main like the dictator in a way. So like you're not allowed to like even question the way she's explaining something because you just need to accept it as the truth and that's it. While in America, everyone was like so surprised when I didn't ask any questions. And I was surprised that they were asking a lot of questions because like here I was told that if you had like questions, then you didn't learn the lesson. So it was like such a big difference. And I think that's the reason also like the older generation, some new as well, they do not get like new ideas or like
Yeah, they don't want to think outside of the box.
because they're taught a certain way. They know it's done a certain way. That way is successful because it has been proven time and time again. And they forget that maybe sometimes if they try something new, that might be successful as them as well. And like I don't know, maybe they can be the first one to like do it. But they feel like because it has been done and they don't feel like questioning themselves or like the other people, they're like, this works, whatever. Let me do it this way that has been proven rather than try something new.
Yeah, it's I remember like Dea, my daughter, she loves art, and someone told me, oh, you should send her to art lessons, but make sure the teacher's foreign because they'll suck the creativity out of her. And I was like, well, that's a bit harsh, but yeah. And what about the fashion industry in Albania? Like, I think it's evolving a bit, but it seems to be quite closed, quite small, maybe a bit difficult to sort of penetrate. Are we going to have like a proper Albanian fashion week, or what needs to change locally to support designers? Okay, it's a small market. There's 2 million people, but what do you think needs to change locally to support?
So I think a lot of things. Albania has a lot of talents, in my opinion. Like for the small community that we are, or like the state, like we're tiny, and we have a lot of talented people. A lot of people are like trying to make a difference or like trying to help the new generation, like motivate them to do like the Musa competition. It's like a very good outlet for like the young people to like try themselves and like it's like it gives them a push in a way. So I think that's good. In fashion, I think it's very difficult everywhere in the world right now. People have more important like things to be worrying about rather than what they're going to wear.
And they're going to Shane, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I hate it. I refuse.
Me too. Like, because it makes zero sense. How can you sell things so cheap? Like, people that make the clothes, like, don't get paid. It's that simple.
Yeah.
And the ways that
And
they
the quality.
produce, it's like crazy. The quantities of clothes that we are wasting, it's like like huge.
Yes.
And we cannot even like comprehend that.
It's a shame. People they don't want to spend, okay, you can say a lot of people can't afford, but they'll buy 20 pieces of clothing that's trash rather than buying 1 or 2 pieces that are even secondhand. Buy secondhand. Don't buy this trash online. You don't know what you're getting. They've found some of this stuff has like chemicals in, which are dangerous, toxic, poisonous, cause cancer,
From the pillow we put our heads in, usually the fabrics are like dipped into like fire hazard, like so like it doesn't catch on fire.
Yeah.
But also like before, if like you would buy one piece of clothing and if something would like tear or anything like that, you would mend it and like fix it. Right now, because you have Instagram, you have social media, you have things like that, you feel the need, and we are taught in this way of consuming, which is like, oh, like people have seen me in this, like I will throw it out. Also for me, like I would wear the same clothes, and I still do. And people would like be like, oh, like change the t-shirt because like it's like we've seen you wear it so many times. And I'm like, I bought the t-shirt
to wear
and I love it. And that's why I'm wearing it so much, because I love it. Or like they would make fun of me sometimes. They were like, oh, don't you have a different jacket? I'm like, why would I need a 4th, 5th, 7th jacket if this one does the work? Like it's, at the end of the day, it's just clothes, in my opinion. And coming from me, it's like, if they like do a certain function and they're successful at doing that certain function, then why do you care if like it's why?
And I think Albanian people are they take a lot of pride in the way they dress as well, and how people perceive them. And this is nice. People, they do spend a lot of effort and things, but then this penchant for cheap, fast fashion, because they want to keep up the appearances rather than buying things that can last and can be adapted and can be mixed and matched. I saw a picture of an Albanian politician the other day wearing this outfit which cost thousands, but you could only wear it once. The way it is made, the way it looks, you can only wear it once because it was so distinctive, and like you can't mix it with anything. You can't adapt it into something else. It just seems like a waste to me to do that as well. You buy something expensive, you just wear it once. You have to buy things that are going to last, that you can adapt, that are versatile. That I think this is. So, my last question, what would you advise a young Albanian who wants to be a fashion designer? Would you say you can make it in Albania, or would you say try and go and study abroad and then come back? What advice would you give them?
I think everyone can make it anywhere you put them. If they're determined, they will figure it out and find a way, in my opinion. But also you need certain like things. We don't live like in a utopical world where everything it's like, oh, sunshine and flowers. Like you need a lot of like help from different people. If you find the right people, I think you're good to go.
Yes.
Even if you don't have the financial means. But if you do not put yourself out there, even here in Albania, I don't think you can make it anywhere. So if you're not the type of person that's like going out, asking people for like help.
Networking.
Yes, because for me in the beginning, it was like I had a very difficult thing like to ask people for help. I felt like very weird like to ask people. But like at the end of the day, everyone needs help.
Yes.
It's like, it's not you against the world. Like you have people around you. You can
and you will help other people in turn when the time comes.
So like you would help anyone that would come your way. So like, why wouldn't anyone help you? You know what I mean? Or they can direct you like to a person that can help you. But if you do not ask, then
you don't get.
Yeah, exactly.
And what's next for you now? Paris Fashion Week?
Maybe. I still don't know. I'm working right now to like during this time, it's like the award season in LA and like other parts of the world. So I'm working very hard to get as many celebrities like wear my clothes. And right now I'm doing a very good job.
Are you allowed to share?
Yeah, I've posted, like I was at the Stranger Things premiere. She wore like a dress.
Which actress?
I don't know how to say her name. But like one of the actresses there, she wore one of my dresses. It was like full of like Albanian traditional motifs. I just dressed another one from Demon Hunters, like the kids show.
The song is burned into my head
Right?
for me.
I didn't even know. And then my friend's daughter, I consider her my niece, she was like singing it all the time. And I was like, what is this? And then I figured out I dressed like the main character, like Rumi.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dea doesn't watch it, but she knows the song from school and stuff. So she'd be very excited if I tell her
so
that.
I dressed also her, and she posted like a TikTok, like showing the clothes. And like, so that was very interesting as well.
Anyone else we should look out for?
I don't know. In the future, I will tell you.
Yes, I want to know.
Listen, I dressed this other person.
Well, that's great. Well done for getting these important elements of Albanian culture out there as well.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to have this
you.
interview, and good luck with everything you're doing.
Thank you. It's my pleasure always.
Thank you. That's all for this week. You can watch Inside Albania every Saturday on Euronews Albania, on our YouTube channel, or across all major podcasting platforms. Until next week, Mira Pavshim.